Everybody, he's getting some color. I'm Zach, and I'm here with Dubs.
For episode 2 of Clash of Champions. And what an entrance. I would have never done that.
Yes.
But I love it. I think it's great.
I was channeling JR there, brother. I had to.
Before we get into our Clash of Champions review, did you have anything you wanted to, talk about before we?
Yeah. I've been watching the WWE product pretty steadily lately because of this show, mostly more than anything. But it's been a little bit more interesting to me lately too. Besides that, but have you been paying any attention to the King of the Ring stuff lately?
Yes, and I did get nervous when Shane McMahon was inserted himself into the thing.
Yeah. But then apparently Gable beat him, and this ties into the Kevin Owens story and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wanting to call out because Chad Gable and Baron Corbin had a King of the Ring finals match on Raw, and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good match. And, like, Chad Gable's been on a tear recently. He's been having really good matches with just everybody. Like, he had a good match with Andrade on SmackDown, like, in one of his fucking semifinal matches or whatever. And I guess the match with Shane was good. That was the only one I didn't see. And they had a rematch Gable and Corbin did on just last night, and it was also really good.
Here's my thing about the King of the Ring.
Okay.
What are they gonna do with it? Because I feel like this is just a mid card thing now, where it's like, oh, you're a king, congratulations. Well,
yeah, like I was scared because they're doing they at first I thought they were doing away with all the Goofy King gimmicks gone pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Because Corbin had the crown and the cloak and all that shit, and then Chad Gable came out and attacked him and then broke all of his shit and ruined everything. And to me, I was like kind of hoping, is this them saying that that's basically done? They're not going to force a dumbass king gimmick on people anymore.
Well, no, he's King Corbin now, by the way. They changed
Yeah, he's King Corbin. So they are still doing it. But here's the thing about this, though. Unlike all the other times, I think this time it'll actually work again. Not in the same way that Booker made it work, but it's going to work in a different way. And I think it's already working.
Do you think they're going to put Corbin over to a championship in some way?
No, not immediately. This is, to me, the way I've been picking up on this is they are pushing Corbin, but it's like it's a mid-card push. And
maybe they're Intercontinental, maybe?
I think eventually down the road, yeah, like not right now, not for like the next couple months, I think. Maybe next year, like right at the start of next year or December or something. But Corbin has gotten better overall, I have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't that big of a fan of him for a while. Even when he was in NXT, I kind of thought he was kind of meh, honestly. Like, he has a couple good moves and a couple good little spots, but he never did a promo that was good, in my opinion. He seemed pretty limited in the ring for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when he did the Constable thing for a while, he was getting all this heat and stuff, and everybody hated him. And it's like right now, I think he's figured it out. He's figured out a way to actually get heat and get people to not be like, I don't want to see you, go away. It's like, I fucking hate this guy. I can't stand him.
Well,
he's got that going.
Well, I think it would be great if he could make a stable out of this. Like, he's a king and he needs to get his like knights or like his goons in some way.
He's already got a stable. Corey Graves is in it. You listen to Corey Graves talk about Baron Corbin on commentary. It's hilarious. but like, no, they're continuing the king thing with Corbin, but it's different. He's not going around like, hear ye, all this bullshit. He's kind of doing it somewhat ironically, I think. And it's a way to annoy people. It's another way to annoy people with him. And I think it's working.
Mm-hmm.
And Gable is just on this really hot babyface streak right now, and it seems like they're just going to have like a feud for a little bit. And I'm fine with that because the matches they've been having are great. Like, If you haven't seen them, go find them somehow.
This has like a Mr. Perfect feel kind of to it with Chad Gable.
Yeah, Gable kind of reminds me of Mr. Perfect and Kurt Angle, honestly. And sometimes some of the stuff he does also reminds me of Owen a little bit. Some of the high flying moves he incorporates every now and then, because Mr. Perfect wasn't really that guy.
Yeah,
But
I like short
yeah,
hair. I like short hair Gable more than long hair Gable.
the hair thing I don't really think matters much. I do think they need to have him talk more right now because that was one of his stronger suits. Like remember back when he was teaming with Jason Jordan, they were American Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Chad was kind of the promo guy for them, and I thought he was fairly natural on the mic, but for some reason they're not really giving him any mic time.
Who knows?
I don't know. He needs it bad right now because they're doing this thing right now where it seems like everybody's making fun of him because he's short. And it's like, you guys fucking serious? That's like, I mean, he's doing really awesome in all his matches, and he's like, I'll show you, short motherfucker, and he's about to tear Corbin's ankle off or something.
Well,
But
well, remember the feud before fucking Corbin is where Shelton Benjamin just stared at him really weirdly,
like he was gonna make out with him.
like creepily, like rape him. It was weird.
I don't. No, I didn't see that.
they, they were doing promos where Shelton Benjamin was being a creep on Gable, and then they had the match for the tournament for King of the Ring, and obviously Gable won.
Oh,
But
I'll have to go back and see that.
but it's like, what do they do? Like, I don't understand the writing at all, and I could see that it's kind of getting better a little bit, especially when SmackDown is going to Fox. So
Oh yeah.
and they've been talking about they're gonna have a draft and everything, which is apparently gonna span for like 3 weeks. The draft.
Ooh, interesting.
So
I wonder if NXT guys will be included in this draft.
well, yeah, they are a brand now. They're on live TV. So
And I'm wondering also if people will get drafted to NXT. Like I've heard supposedly one of the plans is they're going to transfer Kevin Owens back to NXT. And
I guess
I'm fine with that actually because I still think he's capable of being on the other two shows or whatever.
because I don't really care for the Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon feud. Like they're trying to so hard to recreate the Steve Austin and McMahon thing, and it's starting to get annoying.
I was fine with it until they just did this thing where he just kind of curled up into a ball and submitted to him. I thought that was really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get, oh, my family, like whatever. Like it kind of killed it for him a little bit when he gave up. It seemed like, and now he's suing him. I'm like, so that's supposed to get you behind like the badass I don't give a fuck anti-authority guy. You sue him.
And this is a guy that like was a fucktard like to everybody. And
Oh yeah, Kevin Owens was a dick to everyone.
and now we're supposed to believe, and I understand this is wrestling, this is WWE, that happens sometimes, but it doesn't feel right on Kevin Owens at all.
Kind of. I mean, I thought he was doing a fine job until this happened. The logic was completely lost after that, where it was just like, okay, you win, I give up. It's like apparently he doesn't have the intestinal fortitude to carry out an anti-authority fucking role.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's also some guys I would think that would benefit from going to NXT again and getting off these main shows because there's a couple guys where it just seems like they don't have any clue what the fuck to do with them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Like
EC3 is being totally wasted.
yeah, and if somehow Vince get rid of EC3, which I don't think he will, EC3 should go.
I think he might. I think there's a chance they'll let him go. He'll ask for his release and let him go. His contract will expire, and they won't try hard to get him back.
Then AEW should pick him up because they need big guys like him in their wrestling federation, just so that they could fear a big guy.
Yeah, and then there's also Sami Zayn in particular strikes me as another guy where it seems like they don't have any idea what to do with him.
Well, the whole him managing Nakamura is funny as hell.
It's funny, but it's Sammy's kind of being wasted. Like I don't understand why isn't he wrestling?
It might be an injury thing, probably.
Maybe I guess I haven't heard that he's injured or anything. I just
Sometimes
he was in the King of the Ring thing.
Yeah, sometimes they hide it for some strange reason.
Yeah, yeah, it's possible too. He might be going through kind of a pretty serious injury scare thing, maybe.
Because I know
he needs rested. He needs some rest. He's banged up, but he doesn't want to go home, kind of thing. Because he's been home forever.
Because I noticed that when they have injuries, they don't want to usually put it out there, especially when they have competition now, where they could be like kind of make fun of it. I guess, but I don't know why they would make fun of it. That's weird. They'd be like, "Ha, you're injured, you fucking stupid,
you fucking bitch, you're injured now."
But I don't know. It's just Vince McMahon being weird, probably.
Possibly. Yeah, I just wanted to give a short shout out. It wasn't short. We ended up going on some tangents there, but to Gable and Corbin and their feud, it's been really enjoyable for me.
All right, so let's dive into it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matches to go through.
So you watched the pre-show this time?
Yes.
Because I did. And this is Clash of Champions, brother, not Night of Champions. I kept calling it Night of Champions. This is a WCW shit. It's fucking, I don't know.
The pre-show was just like a bunch of I fucking hate the table thing where they all discuss shit. Where I'm just like,
I don't even pay any attention to that. I didn't write anything down about any of that. I skip it.
Yeah, I was like, I skipped it too because I was like, oh, this. All right, we're bringing back Legends. We're talking about it like it's a sports thing, and I'm like, nah, that doesn't get me.
You're not doing it right. You can do it. There's a right way to do it, but they're not doing it right.
You got to do it like the 80s and 90s where it was cooler back then, and then you had.
They have to. They basically the way that they present their product right now, they can't do that. It doesn't work. Like they'd have to totally redo how they do everything. They could kind of probably do that on NXT the way it is, but they do it sometimes on some of the. They do have takeover pre-shows where they have little panels and stuff, but they're not nearly as long and annoying as it is on a main show.
Yeah, and that's when they try to like spice up. Be like, hey, you don't have the network? Make sure you get the network. If you sign up now, you get it for free.
That's right.
And but they talk about their little watch-alongs that they have on YouTube where they get like a bunch of celebrities, and I'm like, stop.
They got celebrities and wrestlers that aren't booked, and it's like I don't want to. No, that's not. No.
Breaking kayfabe to the fucking fullest there. All right, getting into the first match, triple threat for the toy WWE Cruiserweight title.
The Cruiserweight title, which looks weird. I hate that the strap is purple.
Yeah, it looks like a fruit.
I fucking can't stand that. It needs to be black, dude. And I don't know. I think the belt needs to be gold.
Yeah. And
it would look a lot better if it were black and gold.
Because the symbol looks cool. I like the symbol. I just don't like the belt itself. And WWE has a thing where just like we need to make our belts look like fruit roll-ups, and means to be different colors like red. They had the Saudi Arabia green thing, which was weird,
ugly as shit.
And then obviously the matching, the blue and red and stuff. So I was like, stop it, it's stupid. But
it makes it more toyetic.
Yeah, but in this triple threat, we have Dorado versus
Lince Dorado,
Humberto Carrillo, and then Drew Gulak.
Yeah, Drew Gulak, who is the champion going in.
Best heel on the wrong show. I think he should be on the main show, or at least NXT, in my opinion.
He had a couple of matches on NXT a few months ago where he was just kind of on there a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really good match with Matt Riddle, I remember. It was just random, but it was good. And Like he beat somebody who I think it might have been Carrillo or somebody else that was an NXT jobber at the time. And then it just transitioned to like he called out like this is bullshit. I beat this guy in like a minute, which he legitimately did. He beat him in like a minute or two. He's like, I want some real fucking competition. And then Matt Riddle comes out and they have like a pretty damn good match.
Yeah. Speaking of Matt Riddle, he's been getting a lot of heat lately because he's just been talking a lot of shit to everybody.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's work or not, which is good, I guess. But it's a bit odd. But yeah, this match was I don't know. What do you want to say about it?
I have some notes here. There was a spot that Dorado, like, there was a drop kick from Gulak, and there was a delay with Dorado where he gets hit by the drop kick, and then he throws himself over the rope. There was like a lot of spots like that with Dorado. I think he just.
Oh yeah. I got one where Dorado got pushed off the turnbuckle, I think, by Gulak.
Mm-hmm.
And he like throated the rope, like he hits the rope with his neck.
Yeah.
And then for some reason he flipped out of the ring after that.
Yeah, it was.
And I was like, what the fuck was that? That made no sense.
Yeah, he was missing a lot of parts, and I felt like Gulak and Dorado, because I know Dorado, like I've seen his work. I think they're the veterans of the ring. I don't know who Humberto is, by the way.
Umberto he's pretty young. I don't know where he came from exactly, but he was in NXT for like a year, and he was just like a job guy. But he was good. Like you know how NXTs do their jobbers, right? They let him get a couple offensive moves in and make him look good for like a 15 or 20 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get squashed. But yeah, he actually kind of made a good impression on me in this match. He's got really good agility, and he gets a lot of air when he does his jumps and shit.
Yeah, I wish they did more with him because Dorado was just fucking botching a lot of shit, and it was annoying me to the point I was like, "This, you're bringing down a match."
I thought that was really uncharacteristic for him because I've seen several Lince Dorado matches since he came to WWE, and usually he's a lot more smooth than that.
I mean, we also got to take into account because they are humans, by the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go to the ring, they're sick, they might be injured, or they possibly shit their pants, which that is a known fact because John Cena shit his pants.
There's several wrestlers shit their pants stories. We'll have a whole segment on that one time, I swear. No. but no, like I wrote a note about that where like I thought this match was kind of sloppy overall.
Mm-hmm.
And like I thought it was weird that Dorado just seemed kind of out of sorts in this match because, like I said, usually to me he was one of the more solid luchador wrestlers. That a lot of his stuff usually looked good and it was smooth, and he almost never fucked up.
And Gulak was doing a lot of high flying stuff, which I thought he was always anti-air. Didn't he always have an anti-air sign or something?
Yeah, he had that gimmick where he was no fly zone, and it was like this weird shit, like he was running for office or something. That was such a shit gimmick, but he made it like work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's done now. It's clearly done now, and he's just Drew Gulak. I'm a hard ass technical wrestler like Dean Malenko or something.
Yeah. Speaking of technical, I'm tired of seeing wrestling promotions do this where there's two guys doing a submission and then the third guy comes in and then does a submission to one of the people or maybe both of the people at the same time.
I thought, yeah, that spot was. I don't mind. There's a way to pull it off to make it work, and they didn't do it here. It was dumb. It was like I forget how it started. One of them put somebody else in a submission, and then I think it was Dorado ran up and put Gulak in his submission,
Mm-hmm.
and he let go of Carrillo, and then I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that's like the shit where like the Bucks and the fucking Lucha Brothers were like, your brother's on the table. It was like, your brother's on the table. Are you gonna stop me? No. Fuck it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, because if I was, competing for something and I really want the belt, I wouldn't want to make it difficult where I might not get the belt. Because let's say one of them taps before the other, who wins it? Like,
yeah, that's retarded.
just take one of the guys out and like do your finisher move on the guy that's doing the submission to the person, so that you can take the person who's hurting a lot and then pin them, or maybe put them in a submission. But
Yeah.
I thought this was very sloppy, but I did enjoy Gulak a lot. I think he carried the whole match, and I'm
He
happy
did
that
he did the best he could.
yeah, I'm happy that he won. So I gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
Okay. I got two more things to say about this match,
Okay.
and then I'll give my score, which is I kind of like the 205 commentary team.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that with Aiden
What,
English.
yeah, Aiden English is on there, and so are two other guys I don't know. They're like the really undercard commentators, apparently.
Well, apparently one of
But
them are coming to Raw because uh, Corey Graves is going to be the SmackDown guy.
yeah, and then like I think Cole's going to SmackDown too.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, I heard that he was gonna go to Raw, and like after I listened to this match's commentary, I was like, these guys are good. There's like almost there's no fucking stupid jokes. Like they weren't fucking around saying stupid shit.
Which we will get to when we get to the main show, because
Uh huh.
I do have things I have to say.
Okay, I didn't notice it. I think I've gotten to the point on WWE like on I got quit saying main show and stuff when I'm referring to NXT because it's not like that anymore, and it really hasn't been for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But I on Raw and SmackDown, the commentary for these events is fucking awful, and it's been awful for years now, like several years. And I think I've just gotten to the point where I'm immune to it, unless it's like really egregiously stupid. I don't take notice to it,
Yeah.
and I must have just tuned it out for the most part. Sometimes Graves says stuff that makes me laugh. That's all I recognize. Like it's it. But I like the commentary team. Props to them. And there was something that happened in this match that really fucking fucked it up for me.
What was it?
The finishing sequence. It was super sloppy,
Yes.
which was Dorado was going for his shooting star press, which is his finisher, and Carrillo didn't roll out of the way in time, so his legs hit him on the roll through, and he kind of had to just no sell it. So then Carrillo gets up, doesn't move, and puts Dorado in the corner, and Carrillo goes for his finisher, which is called the Aztec press. It looks cool. It's like a weird, like, slingshot fucking moonsault thing. It's really hard to describe because I haven't really seen anything like that.
Mm.
He only hits like 1/3 of it. And then Gulak comes in and just throws him out of the fucking ring and then rolls Dorado up for the pin. And then Dorado's shoulders aren't on the mat.
Oh.
And then the ref audibly says, shoulders on the mat. And you see Dorado adjust his shoulders to the mat right after he says that so he can get pinned, and it totally ruined the goddamn finish.
I remember.
And I was like, are you guys fucking shitting me right now? You exposed the business in the finish.
Yeah, because I remember that because he's like, shoulders on the mat, and then you can see like the guy just like move his shoulders. And
He shrugs.
Yeah.
He basically shrugs so his shoulders could be on the mat. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, really? You couldn't.
After all the botches that had in that match, I kind of zoned out a little bit. That's why I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. I only gave it a 0.5 because remember, 5 out of 10 is just like it's an average. I gave this a 4.75 out of 10. Oh shit!
It's below average for me because it was really sloppy, and that finish was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That was really bad, and like it's not horrible or anything. It's just this could have been a at least average match. It could have been a good match, but there's just too many fuck ups. Yeah. It happens though. I'm not pissed at anybody. I'm just really surprised Dorado had like such a sloppy fucking outing. Usually he's better than that.
Well, I guess that's why it's on the pre-show.
Yeah, possibly.
Speaking of pre-show, that usually never happens, but AJ Styles was on there.
I thought that was really weird.
And something I found a news story that apparently Vince wanted to bury Cedric in this match, Alexander. And
I don't know. Yeah.
And it kind of did look like it because AJ Styles had offense pretty much throughout this whole match.
Yeah, like Ced got some really good offense in for like a couple minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like he just fizzled out and got his ass kicked.
Yeah, and
And,
uh, at times it was very stiff to the point where
yeah,
they were hitting really hard. And all I have here is good for Cedric for selling everything because he sold the beat up pretty fucking good.
Cedric will sell for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, a lot of the wrestling in this was really good. It was very hard hitting, it was very convincing. I liked the pace that they had because it was a very short match, which is something I noted, which was kind of surprising to me. It was like 9 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Um,
it was pretty quick because I remember seeing the Styles clash on the outside, and then
yeah, it was
all
like, damn.
and then all of a sudden I just see the pin in the ring, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Ugh. It's like, sorry, I just I'm drinking a soda here, but yeah, I know. Like, okay, they get back in the ring after that. Cedric does the springboard tornado flatliner, which looks cool. And then AJ just gets up and then does the scoop reverse DET. They're doing like a bunch of crazy moves. And then right after that, he loses, like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? And then I was like, what the hell's this? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. They're in Charlotte. Cedric is from Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means?
You lose in your hometown.
You lose in your hometown. That's not the first time that happened tonight.
But the story is going around that Vincent wants to bury Cedric. Why? I don't get it.
I don't know that there's any truth to that. I read that and I kind of just thought, I don't know if I really believe that necessarily. I think it was just what were you gonna say?
I mean, maybe have him lose and either drop down to NXT or back to 205. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
I think what they're doing, like, I'm not sure about this. This is just speculation on my part. I don't believe this story really because I don't think Vince really knows who the fuck Cedric Alexander is. like that's what I think is real. He probably doesn't even know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, and it was a title match, so you don't want to put something on somebody you don't know.
Yeah, like what I think is going on is Cedric is getting a slow burn, old school push, which is a really long overtime sustained push. And because he's been getting a lot more TV time lately. And he's having matches with guys that are like fucking veterans and shit, like AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ's the United States champion, and he's AJ Styles. He needs to look strong and maintain his status, so he probably should have lost.
Yeah.
I think this was a time thing. Like they had so many matches on this card, and this match probably should have went 15 minutes, but it went 9 or 8 or whatever it was.
Yeah, because they gave time to other matches that didn't really need time.
There's a match that shouldn't even been on this card, as far as I'm concerned. We'll get to it.
Yeah, the next one.
Oh shit! No, but like, overall, I thought it was fast paced. It was a little too fast. It came off like a TV match that would be designed to help AJ keep his heat, which is I feel like what they were going for. What I just said.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 6.5.
Oh. I actually was lower. I gave it a 5.8, just based on the fact that Cedric did good selling, that he got his ass kicked pretty well, and
like I was getting into it, and it just stopped all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, well, it wasn't bad. It was just it's like they blew their wad and it was over.
Yeah. And I think we are gonna get that match where Cedric and AJ Styles does give us a 15-minute fucking masterpiece because they could both fly, both of them. So,
yeah, I've liked every encounter they've had. Like it's been good stuff.
Mm-hmm. But let's get something into a match that I fucking despise.
This is the main show now, brother. We're off the pre-show.
Mm-hmm. Raw tag team title match. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler because
Rudolph. You call him Rudolph.
Oh God. Versus Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman.
Roland Strawlins.
Okay. So in my notes, I said this should have been OC in the place of Seth and Braun because of what's going to be happening down in the main event here.
Yeah.
What was the point? And is Rudolph gonna
That's
be?
not the real name. That's just what I call them.
I know, but is Rudolph is Rudolph gonna be a team? Because I how many teams has fucking Robert Roode been on? And that's fucking sad. He's been on many tag teams that don't mean anything.
I can't remember any more of them, actually. I know he was on a team with somebody else, but I can't remember who.
He was with Gable.
Oh, it was Gable. It was Gable, and I was like, that's random. And well, their whole thing to begin with, their dumb mistake was they brought Roode in as a face on the main roster. I was like, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
He can't be a face. Like I just don't think he's capable. Like maybe he is, but he's just such a natural heel. It's like, why would you fucking take that away from him?
And just I got disgusted when I heard about this match. Like right off the bat,
I know.
I was just like, why?
You've ranted about it multiple times with Messenger. Like, I hate, why the fuck did they do this to the OC? Why the fuck do Rollins and Strowman have this title? Why is this happening?
This shouldn't have been on the card at all. Like, this should have been on Raw. It was so fucking stupid to see, because Braun does the same thing where he's like, I'm gonna slam people and then I'm gonna run out in the ring and tackle people into the barricades. And
Braun has become pretty formulaic lately. It's really weird.
And also Seth Rollins too, where he's doing sling blade or sling blade,
swing blade,
sling blade,
Strawlins,
suicide dive, and then he does a curb stomp. He's very cookie cutter now. Probably because Vince is trying to like make him into something that, again, forcing people down the throat. Burn it down.
I'm gonna burn it down. Me and my brother talk about that shit all the time. How like WWE has this really awful tendency to where like when somebody comes up with a catchphrase somehow,
champ that runs the camp, bullshit.
I mean, that stuff, AJ's still not doing that anymore, so that's fine. It actually, I don't know, it seemed genuine when he did it.
Or the house that AJ Styles built.
Sure, I mean that's fine too, because I mean in a way he's right about that. So again, I don't know what it is about when he did it, but it just seemed more genuine. It seemed like less bullshit. When Seth does this, burn it down. I'm gonna burn it down. Monday Night Rollins. Boo! My girlfriend is way cooler than me. I'm never gonna let that go because it's true.
You ain't wrong.
But like,
there was
Seth is. Oh, what were you gonna say?
There was a promo on Raw where they were doing the contract signing with Braun, and like Seth did, walking into Clash of Champions with 2 belts, and then he like pauses, like he's thinking of the line, and then he's like, "Burn it down," and I'm like,
God damn it!
I was like, why did you have to put that there? Why?
I don't know, but ultimately my point is Seth is another one of those guys who I don't think is a good babyface. He's a more natural heel.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And he's been totally hamstrung since the feud with Triple H. Like to me, that was the last time he had genuine like babyface kind of like heat for him. And it's gone. It's beyond played out.
Vince needs to get away from the Shield, period. Stop making them like stars. There's so many other people that you could put in that spot. I mean,
Seth is a star. He is a main event guy. Like that's legitimate. It's just he's not good in his babyface role. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, well, he's trying to make, not to the point of Roman Reigns, but technically he's shoving down the throats and trying to make a face, and having that catchphrase "burn it down" be a thing. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And then I wrote in my notes, Roode and Ziggler champs. Oof. that's
hey, Bobby Roode's good, man. When I was watching this match, I was like, man, I missed Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why the fuck? I wish they quit. I mean, it's fine that he's doing something. I'm glad he's doing something as opposed to nothing. And I still like Dolph Ziggler. He just had that really fucking dumb, awful funk he was in like a year or so ago. But so it's like I'm okay, fine. They're teaming together. That's sure. I don't know. It kind of works for some reason. Rudolph,
I
but
I want to see a gimmick out of them. I don't want them to be like, oh, we're just
we're just guys that team.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I hope during this whole change up of SmackDown being on Fox and Paul Heyman being in control of Raw and Eric Bischoff on SmackDown, that they put more imagination and creative and fucking tag team division, because just what really annoys me is stop making opposites team up. And I'm not saying that Rude and Ziggler are opposites. Seth and Braun are opposites. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are opposites. Fucking Mandy Rose and fucking Sonya, whatever her name is.
Fire and Desire. Get it right.
Mhm.
First of all. Second of all, we'll talk about them later.
Yeah. But since I hated this match from the beginning, I'm going to be biased on my rating. I give it a 3.0 out of 10.
Oh, man. That's not fair. Like, all right, it was a solid match. There wasn't really anything wrong with it at all other than the booking and how they got here. Like, they in a vacuum, this is a good tag match. Like,
it could have been on Raw.
yeah, it definitely could have been. There's nothing about it that necessarily stands out as like, oh my god, you must see this. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have anything to say about it. I gave it a 7.25 just because it was solid. There was nothing wrong. Nothing bad happened necessarily. Nobody fucked up. And there, as far as I'm concerned, the right people won. So, but with that said, you said something about how, the OC should just been here instead or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had a thought about that while we were talking because I can multitask like that. but I was like, if they were really smart, what they should have done was Strowman and Rollins just earned a match against the OC, and they fucking lost because of bullshit. They miscommunicated something. I don't know. Maybe they get a rematch. Maybe not. You don't have to do this. It's just if you're really that obsessed with them teaming up for some stupid reason, you have a hard on about that, then do it one more fucking time and then have them lose again. And then Strowman just gets pissed and beats the fuck out of Rollins because that's what he should do.
But I just don't understand how they got to that. What was the thinking of that? Like,
I don't know. I honestly don't know why they did what they did. I'm just saying you could have never took the belts off the OC. You could have legitimized them further because Rollins has been a tag team specialist in the past if you want to push that. But Strowman is not a team guy at all.
The only thing I could think of is because Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler are heels, that they didn't want to do a heel versus heel kind of thing. But why not?
Yeah.
Just do it.
I don't know. Just put Roode back on NXT. I'm tired of him not getting used correctly.
That would be interesting.
He should be fucking main event. I don't know why he's not. That's the only thing I have to say about this. Is why is Roode in fucking mid card and tags? He needs to be a main event guy, or he needs to be upper mid card guy.
Yeah, he at least upper mid card.
Yeah, because he can work with younger guys too and help them get better and shit at the same time. Because everything he does is like fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't fuck anything up. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I agree with your logic though. I don't like how they did what they did. It doesn't make any sense. But we have Rudolph now. So there.
Would you rate this match?
7.25.
Damn. I am very biased.
Also, between matches, Becky had a promo, and I thought it was a good promo.
Amazing.
It was very, yeah.
That promo set me up for that match. Like
her promo work has been on point this past month or so.
Because she's not with fucking Burn It Down.
Yeah, she ditched her fucking lame ass boyfriend and struck out on her own again. She's been doing this shit where it's like I'm in a fight. I'm gonna fuck you up. When I get a hold of you, you're done. Like it's perfect.
Honey, why don't you burn it down and I'll be the man?
What a dork.
Fucking Rollins.
Fuck him.
Next match is the SmackDown Women's Title match between Charlotte Flair
Woo!
and versus Bayley. Bayley buddies.
Woo.
This match was so bipolar, to the point of I don't know who was face and who was heel at times.
Yeah, they're doing this thing where I don't blame them because it would make no sense, and I complain when they do this kind of thing, which is like all of a sudden somebody's just face. And just, they're acting good now. Charlotte is not really changing her behavior.
Yeah.
But the crowd reaction has changed, and that's how you should do it. It should feel more natural. It's just for whatever reason, like Bayley's being a fucking a dick. It's so weird though that I'm finally hearing it. Like Bayley's music is followed by boos now, and I'm like, that's really strange.
Well, to the point where she like they kind of questioned it a little bit when she came out for her entrance, and then all of a sudden Bayley buddies. Well, then again, you didn't hear Byron Saxton go Bayley buddies.
Actually, Corey said something like, "What's the matter, Saxton? Why aren't you like Bayley buddies? Woo, you fucking incel." And he's like, "It's not the same. It's not right." It's like, well, you know, she has a point. She's loyal to her friend. Her friend is terrible, but at least she has loyalty.
Yeah. What I noticed in this match too is Charlotte was going back and forth with face and heel tactics, where she would be really aggressive, and the commentating team would say that, like, "Oh, she's doing a lot of offense and she's getting in on Bayley," and then out of nowhere she would do like the boot swipes to the face, like a heel kind of thing.
I'm okay with that actually, because that's eventually the kind of spot Ric Flair settled into. Because you get to a point where you get so over and stuff, and you work a certain kind of style. It's like, would it be weird to see Ric Flair not do shit anymore that was cocky and shit? And you know, he would like try to belittle and humiliate his opponent in some way. It would be weird if he just suddenly stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's kind of the point we're at now with Charlotte. She just does whatever, and it's her. Woo.
What's the announcer? What they say? The Queen from the
Queen City. I guess Charlotte, North Carolina is known as the Queen City.
Yeah. From the Queen City.
You remember when Ryback was there and they used to say he was just from Sin City?
Yeah.
I always thought that was really weird. From Sin City. And it's like, you mean Las Vegas? Or do you mean like the comic? Like, I don't know. I guess they mean like Las Vegas, but I've never heard anybody call Las Vegas Sin City in like years.
Yeah. When they do all those like weird locations, like, do you want to be serious or do you want to be not serious? Where are we going with this?
I guess the possibility for this, I just now thought of this, is it would be really weird if they said from Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte. Because for a while her name was just Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally they were like, okay, no, she's Charlotte Flair. Fuck it. So it would still be kind of weird. From Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Flair. Okay. Just say the Queen City. I don't know. It sounds cooler. She's the queen. Woo.
I do like the ring announcer for SmackDown.
Is that the dude?
Yeah, the one that goes.
I don't.
Fuck. What was the other thing he said?
Oh, the best in the world. Fucking Shane McMahon and all that. Like, yeah.
Samoa Joe. How he says Samoa.
Oh yeah, couple little points here. I like Bayley's gimmick on her tights now, and how she's pushing this thing where it's like, I'm a role model. I'm going to teach your kids how to really act. The role model thing reminds me a lot of Chris Jericho, though. He used to do this thing in WCW where he said he was a role model, and he had it like on the back of his vest. He had like this really dorky looking fucking picture of himself on the back of his jacket. And I'm like, oh, Bailey's pulling out of the Chris Jericho bag of tricks now.
I do want to see her go full heel because I want to see how she works with that.
I think she has. It happened in this match basically because it's like she was getting her ass kicked the whole time.
Yeah,
And
and
then
she was doing heel tactics where she was running away.
yeah, and then like out of nowhere. By the way, I love the finish to this. I don't care like whatever, but like it was like she's pulling off the turnbuckle pad off the bottom, which is really odd. Nobody ever does that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charlotte goes to grab her, and then she just pulls her into the turnbuckle ring. It's like bam, and it looked awful, like in a good way.
Yeah.
And then she pins her and beats Charlotte, and then she just grabs the belt and just runs full sprint to the back.
Yeah, I didn't know how how to feel during this match because that's why I said it was bipolar because I was like
I thought that was great.
yeah, this is what I wrote. I wrote Bailey wins on heel tactic. Very weird, but E for effort for storytelling, I guess.
I mean, I told the story like Charlotte is too strong and is too fucking genetically superior because they want to get into that fucking that Nazi shit for some reason, and just she's too strong, she's too good. Bailey is just Bailey. So it's like, I don't think Bailey's ever really beaten Charlotte in a match. Like I'm trying to think about that, and I can't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I think no. I'm gonna say no. And this is the first time she beat her. She had to cheat, do bullshit, and then she ran away like a chicken shit. That was fine because people are scared to do that nowadays. People are scared to be heels because I'll look weak.
Yeah. I thought it was an okay. I liked it to the point where I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.0.
Oh, we're kind of dead on this one.
We're ballparking there. It kind of suffered from the same thing I think that the Cedric and AJ match had, which was it. It was too quick to establish anything. Nothing was wrong with what they did. It was just too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh, okay. And then I thought, wait a minute, we're in Charlotte. Charlotte's from Charlotte. She lost. I was like, that's two. We're down to, it's a twofer.
Mm-hmm. There's a trend going on.
It was at this point in the show after this match that I wrote a note here saying, in retrospect, after having seen the Raw following the show, they should have had the King of the Ring final on this fucking pay-per-view instead of some of these matches.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said after seeing Raw, they should have had that King of the Ring final match with Gable and Corbin on this pay-per-view instead of some of these matches.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, damn, that was such a good match. That would have like been crazy.
Yeah, like for example, maybe get rid of that Raw Tag Team title match.
Well, yeah, we agree on that. Like it shouldn't really have happened. It's whatever.
Mm.
Like, up next, the Revival in the New Day.
Yep.
Xavier Big E.
SmackDown Tag Team title match.
My boys, the Revival. They're here.
I have it in capital letters, underlined, and exclamation point. I love the Revival.
Yes, they're amazing.
I've
always liked them since they started teaming in NXT. I'm like, these guys are fucking awesome.
This is what tag team wrestling is all about. They do tag team wrestling right to the point where I have shades of the Hart Foundation with them.
Brainbusters, Arn and Tully.
Mm-hmm. One thing I want to bring up: Corey Graves was the most annoying person in this match for the wrong reasons. And I get it, being a heel announcer, you need to be a heel in a way. But this whole match, he was screaming the whole time, like, "Oh, this is the Revival," and I told you were wrong, Byron Saxton and Todd Phillips and all that stuff. Like, it's annoying. Throughout this whole match, that's all I've been hearing. There are certain times, like back then, the commentating team, the heel announcers, they would say something, and that's it. And maybe they would poke fun here and there, but they were still professional in a way.
Mm-hmm. Except for King, he was never professional.
Yeah, he was never. I'm talking more.
But it was fine. He was King. Where do you? What? Come on.
Well, even like Macho Man, like he had his say, and that's it. But he went back to announcing. The same with
Yep.
Bobby the Brain Heenan. He made fun of fucking Gorilla Monsoon, and that was it. But then he went to go talk the match. He was doing his job. This one, it seems like they have to have like a, what's that, Maury Povich kind of thing going on.
Oh God, you said that.
Yeah, where
have you been? You paid attention to that Maria fucking storyline?
Yeah, and I think it's stupid, and I don't know why they're making Mike Bennett, aka Mike Kanellis, in WWE like a cuck.
That's what they're doing. They're doing a cuck storyline with Mike Kanellis.
I feel like Vince McMahon just learned the word cuck, and that's what he's doing.
No, I think this is all Paul Heyman. This reminds me of shit he'd do in ECW.
Oh God.
This is Paul, man. And you know, it's okay because it's kind of entertaining. Like that fucking segment where like I thought it was stupid where it's like, oh, they're revealing the gender. It's a gender reveal party, and then like there's just random people back there. Like Titus O'Neil's back there, fucking Ricochet's back there for some reason. And I'm like, okay. And then like she's like, it's a boy, and it's like, who's the father? It's like Ricochet. And his fucking face, the face he made when that happened was like amazing. I actually cracked up. He's like, what? And it caused them to get in a fight, and then of course Ricochet kicks his ass.
Well, I think what happened was Paul Heyman caught wind of because Ricochet's leaks came out, his new leaks, where he was.
Yeah. I don't want to give. I feel bad for the guy on that.
Well, let's just say that Paul Heyman caught wind of it, and I think he probably thought it was funny, and he probably did bring it up to Vince, and Vince probably thought it was funny too because
maybe. But you said Maury Povich, and I think they're leading to like a thing where Maury Povich is going to get involved in that. Supposedly, that's the rumor.
Yeah, I heard about that. But what I was trying to bring about that is like when the guests they start screaming and just they're trying to be entertaining, but it's just more annoying than entertaining. I feel like that's what the commentating team is all about.
I think Corey specifically, they make him more obnoxious on purpose because you know how the commentary works, right? Like on main WWE TV, it's Vince or somebody back there with a headset yelling at you, telling you what to do, exactly how you're going to say it, and they're forcing Graves to be more obnoxious because he used to not be like that. So I don't know.
I could see Vince being like, Corey, make sure you keep on making fun of Byron.
Keep yelling at Byron. Let him know how much of a cuck faggot he is. It's like, you know that's what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against gay people, guys. I'm just saying this is what Vince McMahon would say.
That's what he would say.
Because he thinks Byron's a fucking. I guess he thinks Byron lives at home with his parents still, and he's a virgin. And he's all. God damn! They just on a weekly basis that guy gets torn down.
Yeah, and he's actually ripped the hell, fucking Byron Saxton. Like under that suit, he's fucking.
He used to be a wrestler. It's just he's not. They made him a commentator for some reason. Mm-hmm. But anyway, match.
Dash Wilder did a clothesline on Big E, and I got scared because he almost hit the metal stairs.
Big E's a big guy, and sometimes when he does those flips over the ropes to the outside, or when he does that spear through the ropes to somebody on the outside, that always scares the shit out of me when he does that.
Well, yeah, because he could hurt his knee, or he could fucking.
Half the time he almost lands on his head.
Yeah.
He's so fucking top heavy. He's just like he's not tall, but he's like fucking thick. He's built like a damn fridge.
And I do want to. Oh, sorry, go.
That's all. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Xavier Woods is very underrated.
Oh yes, he's great. He's a great seller. He's amazing at selling.
Amazing at
And
selling. He's very quick with his moves. He's great on the mic. He's kind of like the full package in a way.
he really is. And he's good at that he's really good at that selling, getting sympathy thing, actually seeming like he's really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel bad for him when something bad happens to him. Every time. I know like he fucking does it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Yeah, I really like the match overall. There's a couple cool spots. Like that part where E had Dash on the outside. He was leaning him over the apron. You know how they usually do the elbow thing to their face or something?
Yeah.
He was just beating the fuck out of him. Like he was just punching him in the chest over and over. And then Dash somehow gets out of it and then like gets him to fuck off. And then he clotheslines him off the apron. And was like, damn, that was cool. Good spot there.
Mm-hmm. I love how the revival dominate to the point of cutting them off from their teammate, just like how
Mm-hmm.
a heel team would do. And
Cut off the ring, do double team moves, cheat. They do all that stuff great.
mm-hmm.
And their psychology is always on point. Everything you do.
And I feel like Xavier Woods carried the match, and I don't know if Big E was hurting him with because I only saw Big E do like not hurt, but just he did less than what Xavier Woods did because Big E went through the ropes and then he went to go do his belly suplex and stuff. But that's all I remember in the match.
Belly suplex.
Yeah, belly to belly. Like,
I think.
am I
Well,
wrong?
the formula. No, I think the formula is like in my mind it makes sense. It's like you don't want Big E to get beat up a bunch and sell everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's Xavier's spot. He's that guy. Him or Kofi in that team. So like it protects E, you know, and it still makes him look strong without him having to get his ass kicked so much. Sometimes he still gets his ass kicked anyway, but you don't want to do it all the time.
I think
So
I think the revival got hurt when they did the finisher on the outside because they both held their back.
either that or they just sold it. It's just like, oh fuck, yeah, yeah. There's a couple things though, a couple other things this match I thought was weird. The commentary, Saxton was complaining that the revival have gotten really vicious and they tried to mess up Xavier's knee, and I think that's because of Randall. He didn't say Randall. I call Randy Orton Randall sometimes. It's because I always have. It's because of Jericho. One time he just called him Randall, and I fucking laughed at that. And ever since then, ever since Jericho called him Randall, I call him Randall. but, but anyway, he was like, "It's because of Randy that they're like this now." I'm like, "Motherfucker, they've been fucking people's knees up since NXT. That's what they do. They do that thing where they wrap the guy's knee up, and then the other one's like, jump off, kick him, and he stomps his knee and it breaks it, and they fuck him up, and they put him in figure fours, and they've done that shit forever.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that just bothered me.
What do you think of the ending where Corey Graves started going, What are they doing? I called them the greatest tag team of all time, but why are they doing this? Just go for the pin."
I at first I was like, "What? This is kind of weird. What are they doing?"
Mm.
And then after the fact, I kind of got it. They just wanted to fucking punish them and fucking rub it in and shit,
Which heels do.
which they were doing. I was like, "No, you know what? That's fine. That totally fits in with what they're doing."
Mm-hmm. Love the promo at the end too. I thought the promo was fucking great.
Yeah, it was a good post-match promo. I like that they've been kind of doing that kind of thing lately, where sometimes they catch a guy after the match and just do quickly post-match promo. You know,
And sorry, I think they should do that more often. Like, you don't need to have segments, sort of say, like how they've been doing promos and it just fall flat or it looks stupid. Just how they do
no,
these end promos or even before the match and stuff. Just do that and let them do the promos on themselves on their own on their own so that you know it feels genuine because the whole being revived kind of thing was fucking cool. I love when he says to the
Yeah,
fans, "You're revived now."
yeah, but they've been making more of an effort to not just have all promos be the same, which is like there's a fucking interviewer back there that's really stiff and robotic,
Mm-hmm.
and they're standing in front of a TV somewhere backstage, and they ask him questions. They've been in different locations and stuff like that post match, and then they're doing that thing lately where Michael Cole's just sitting with somebody in a room and just asking them questions, and that's fine too because at least that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's only other one thing I want to call out here, and it goes to psychology stuff and working. And there was like a part where Dawson was like clawing at E's nose, and he was positioning himself to where the referee could never see what he was doing. He
That's
kept like
awesome.
he kept getting in his way, and but like the referee couldn't quite figure out what he was doing. And just when he gets into the angle where he can see what he's doing, Dawson stops and he just elbows him in the head like immediately. I'm like, that is fucking working right there. People need to pay attention to shit like that.
Yeah, they need to. That's why I think Revival is like the epitome of fucking tag team.
Yeah, or just that's just good wrestling. Period. Like everybody should be paying attention to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you score it?
8.0 out of 10.
7.75.
Jeez, so close. We're
To
doing.
me, yeah, it was really good. It's just I know both these teams can have a better match. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but we've been pretty close on some of the matches. Well, the ones that I'm not biased on.
Yeah.
But moving on from a great tag team match to probably a boring match, in my opinion.
Okay.
WWE Women's Tag Team Title match: Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Fire and Desire.
Yep. Versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And I right off the bat, I just want to say I hate Nikki Cross's fucking entrance music, where it's just screaming.
Yeah, I think she needs a different entrance theme now because she's kind of dropped that gimmick. Basically, she's not Sanity anymore. Sanity is disbanded. Uh, I don't know what Eric Young is doing, but he needs to be doing something. It's bullshit that he's not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Agree. I hope he
But
goes back to NXT.
there's another guy that could just sit back to NXT and just do good work. Like I don't know, but what did you think about this?
Uh, Thought this could have been another Raw match. Felt like it, especially when you have the 24/7 spot happening, which takes away from the match, in my opinion.
I did laugh at the segment before this match. I did that kind of got a laugh out of me.
Yeah, that promo was good, and I wrote in my notes. I said the 24/7 spot was funny, but dumb and takes away from the match when they all came inside the ring and stuff, and Alexa tried to pin him.
Yeah, it's I had mixed feelings on that because I kind of like the 24/7 thing, but I don't like how it bleeds over into matches going on, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. It just tells me that they don't have any confidence in any of the wrestlers in there. Because Mandy Rose is good, Sonya is good, but again, where I said opposites are teammates, yeah, they were on a team or a stable at one point, but I kind of don't see them as a tag team. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross shouldn't be a team.
Well,
I'm tired of seeing the whole. Um, you're gonna be my bodyguard. Hey, let's be friends, even though we were heel and face at some point.
well, hang on about this one. See, because I was thinking the same thing before I actually started watching the shows again, and because I agree with you too. They really overused that whole "this team can't get along; it's going to combust at some point."
Mm-hmm.
Or there's conflict here when they just put two people together to make a team. It's not a team. Manny and Sonya are a team as far as I'm concerned because they've been attached at the hip since they got called up. They're a team, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the Iconics. They're a team too because they've been attached at the hip ever since NXT. But when I started watching this thing, or I started paying more attention to the shows recently. I was like, I noticed, they're changing Nikki's character a little bit. They're tweaking it. She's not as crazy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She actually can cut a promo without seeming like a psycho. And like, uh, at first, this played out like, oh yeah, it looks like Alexa Bliss is just taking advantage of her because she's kind of a badass a little bit in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's changed into this weird thing where it looks like they actually kind of weirdly became friends, and it looks like she kind of trusts her, believe it or not. That's what I get from this anyway.
One thing I want to say about Nikki is I hate her body language.
Yeah, she's still doing a lot of that nutso fucking sanity stuff, and she's doing it less.
Mm-hmm.
But she needs to cut it way down now, because in the segments she has with Alexa where they're like just doing a promo, or she's doing the moment of bliss thing, the little talk show.
Yeah.
She seems pretty normal and chilled out during that. Like she seems like just totally fine. It's just like, it's so weird that you're like normal and you can have a normal conversation, then you go like you're the fucking Tasmanian devil or some shit.
Because I wrote in my notes, I'm like, Nikki Cross, is she on drugs? Like, is she on like cocaine at this point? Because she does that fist pumping Tasmanian devil kind of thing, and I'm like, oh, it's so annoying.
She doesn't. Yeah, I think hopefully they're getting to a point where they're just going to phase it out, because already her character's pretty different now. But I like them together. They're kind of entertaining together, and I don't know. I just do.
Hopefully, I miss when they used to name their teams like Fire and whatever their name is.
Fire and Desire.
Fire and Desire.
Who's the fire and who's the desire?
Desire is Mandy Rose, obviously, and
Fire.
Yeah. I even wrote in my notes, Mandy Rose is hot. I agree with Corey Graves.
I like that, like, when this match was starting, like, Corey Graves had conflicted feelings because Alexa was in this match and so was Mandy. Because he's always like, the God's here! Shut up, Cole! Shut your fucking mouth! Like, every time she comes out. And then, like, when Mandy comes out, Byron says, like, Byron, shut the hell up! Let me enjoy this. But, like, it was like he didn't know what to say. And then I think like, Renee Young was like, are you okay, Corey? And he's like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, the part where Nikki Cross does the Val Venus sexy pose thing and made it.
Oh, that made me laugh.
Yeah, because it was very awkward, and then like Corey Graves is like, oh.
He's like, oh god, oh. Just completely overdoing it. Like, I think this was an example of him, like, he was probably told to overact that shit, and he went with it, and it worked.
Mm-hmm. I chuckled at it. I thought it was funny. But then I cringed right away because, what's her face? The Renee Young is like, oh, that's sexy. I'm like, why? Well, you ruined it.
Yeah, it's pandering.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, Nikki Cross, like, honestly, like, I don't know, the way they make her look and stuff, you wouldn't think it. But if you find some pictures of her before she went to WWE, she's pretty fucking hot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she cleans up real good.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I only have, like, a few little incidental notes here. Like, yeah, that part where Nikki was making fun of Mandy was funny. Alexa was selling. And it's different for her because she's a face now.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up about Alexa is because I noticed she was having concussion issues. Did you notice that Nikki Cross is carrying the team more? Like, she's doing more of the heavy work, and Alexa's more of, like, little stuff here and there?
I think it was good. It would be like that anyway, just because that makes sense in terms of the story. But, yeah, she had some multiple concussions that kind of piled up on her, and she needed some extra recovery time from that. And she's apparently, she said something like they're still figuring out, like, what she can do and what she can't do, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I kind of feel like because she was gone for so long, people missed her. And then so it's like ever since she got back, she kind of was like weirdly quasi face anyway. But I was like, oh, she's selling and it's looking good and stuff. And you feel bad for her because she's so small. She's so little. She's like 5 feet. Everybody's bigger than she is.
She's so small that she had to make her boobies bigger.
Whatever, that's her decision. At least they're not like ridiculous.
I agree.
She didn't go like, oh my god, I've got double D 38 now. No, god damn. But what else do I got? It was solid. I didn't really have any problem with it. It was kind of fun. I thought it was mostly like a good character work kind of match.
This is another biased rating for me because I don't really care for women's tag team. I think they don't deserve a division yet because they've been using the same teams over and over again for the division, and I feel like it's shrunken since the last time that they had a lot of teams. And I feel like they don't show enough people in a division. Like I always feel like it's just Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and Alexa.
Iconics.
Yeah, and I forgot about them. Those annoying people.
They job. They're annoying, but they're hilarious. I'll disagree with you on that one. They're freaking funny.
I give it a 4.0 out of 10.
See, I gave it a 7.
See, I'm biased on this one.
I mean, you're not wrong about what you're saying. I don't disagree. It's just like ever since that when they took those titles off Sasha and Bailey, it kind of killed the division.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of the centerpiece, and they needed a centerpiece, and then they gave it to a team that can't win. like who did they? I like the Iconics. They're funny. Who did they ever beat though? They didn't beat anybody.
Yeah, they stole the win in WrestleMania pretty much.
And then, but before that, just thinking about all the matches they have, they don't beat anybody. They lose all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically a jobber tag team. They're a jobber heel comedy team. So, but, like, this was a good match. There was nothing wrong with it. Everything was fine. They did good character work in the ring. That came across more than anything. And, it was fine. I liked it. 7.
7. There we go. We're different on this one. Maybe we'll be the same on this gem here. WWE Intercontinental Champion match. The Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Who is the champion?
Yeah, who's the Intercontinental Champion? And the first thing I have is, why is Shinsuke in a cape?
They've tweaked his look, and I don't like it. It's weird. It's like they wanted to start making him wear these Power Ranger outfits. And I don't know why.
And Sammy is his manager because
I think they don't know what to do with him, honestly. Which is dumb. Because it's like he had something going with like that heel work. I think he was really onto something with that. And after he came back from his injury, and he was like, "You fans are so hard to please. It's impossible." Like he was basically just shit talking like how fans are about wrestling sometimes, and I honestly thought it was cool. And
I thought it was interesting, but they always do that. I feel like Vince McMahon used Sami Zayn to like make fun of the fans, which again is good if you stick with the gimmick a little bit and make a thing out of it, but they never made a thing out of it.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, it was just I thought he was getting traction with this, and then he just kept losing, and now he's just a manager for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good talker, and it's really funny because this guy used to not talk ever. He used to say like, "I don't know, El Generico, I'm fighting for the orphanage, Olay." Like that. What the fuck? It's such a basic nothing promo. And now he's like, to me, he's like one of the best natural talkers they have. But apparently some people in the office find him annoying. Like they don't like the way he talks and shit or something.
Because I think he's a just like Kevin Owens. You know, they kind of do push Kevin Owens here and there, but they're indie darlings. So
I don't know. I don't know that it's that. It's just it's something I've heard. Supposedly, Sammy's kind of an odd guy anyway. Like something like his behavior can be off-putting sometimes.
yeah,
Uh,
this is coming from an industry that had very oddballs in wrestling. So
like oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, wrestling's full of all kinds of legitimately insane people and shit. But but like I've heard from people, even Kevin Owens, a guy who's like
best
I guess
friend.
real he's his best friend. He says Sammy's kind of a weird guy. He could be described as neurotic. So and then they say that on commentary. It's like he's so annoying. I can't stand him. They say that over and over, and it's weird.
Well, I also wrote that the announcers are annoying in this match too. Where
Oh yeah, they were checked out for this one. It was fucking bullshit. I didn't pay any attention to him.
what happened to the
Uh,
Miz? Man, the Miz fell off the map after Shane McMahon.
yeah, he fell right the fuck off. I don't know. Apparently he's been on a losing streak thing for some reason. I don't know why. Listen, I used to hate the Miz legitimately.
Me too.
Not like a heel thing. Like I was like I fucking can't stand this guy. I don't like him on my TV.
Yeah, I am
Um,
awesome, but stupid.
like I used to hate this guy, and then within the last few years, recently here, he's he's pulled through somehow and put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, he's not a great wrestler in the ring by any means. He's just okay. But he's the kind of guy where if you put him with a certain other guy, they can have really good matches together.
Ever since he did that work shoot on Talking Smack, I was
Oh,
like,
against Daniel Bryan.
yeah, that's when I was like, oh, he could be a good like promo person, and you could.
That was always his strong point was talking. I couldn't take that away from him no matter what.
Mm-hmm. But
Was
you
that?
but you could have made a thing out of it because remember Daniel Bryan called him safe where he's always doing the same moves over and over again and not going on the top rope. Uh,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird because he showed Daniel Bryan that through the Shane McMahon match where he started doing these weird outrageous things with Shane McMahon. I feel like
Well,
he should have done that with Daniel Bryan where they made a
well,
story out of it.
maybe, but like I think part of his point, like if I remember what Miz was saying, it was something like, "Well, the reason why I work the way I do is because it keeps my career going. Unlike you, Daniel."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, "I don't have broken neck and concussions and shit, and I'm able to work all the time, and I'm gonna have a long career, and I'm gonna be here for a long time, unlike you." Like he's not wrong. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, like in my mind, no, Miz would never do that against him. Why? Because it kind of defeat the point he's making.
Well, no.
But
What I
but with oh, go ahead.
what I mean with a storyline is like whatever he does that is safe never puts anyone down. So he would have to do a high risk maneuver once to maybe get that win. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like maybe he tries to do one time and he fucks up and he loses because that would be like really funny,
That would be funny too.
like that kind of thing. But no, like yeah. Anyway, like yeah, I have a note about here. Like I don't know why Sammy's a manager. He's getting heat, I guess. He's doing good heel work. Uh, I also thought this shouldn't have even been on the show at all because I wasn't even aware they were building an Intercontinental title match at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't WWE doesn't understand Shinsuke at all. It's like after he got out of NXT, it was just I don't fucking know. Apparently he's popular in Japan.
I just wrote it was an average match. I lost interest right away, and this should have been on another match that should have been on Raw or SmackDown.
Meals. Miz is not a good baby face.
Mm-hmm.
He's go back to heel. Bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
I give it a 5 point out of 10.
okay. And then let's see. two more things.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice this, whenever Miz has a match, he always does this, and it's always wrong. You know how he'll work on somebody's leg,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll do a figure four, and when he does a figure four, he wraps the wrong leg. It's the opposite leg that he's working. And he always like switches his legs. It's like he forgets what he's doing or some shit.
Yeah, I don't like his figure four.
That's just like a pet peeve. Yeah, I don't like that either. It's just he never did it good. And the only thing I have to say is these guys. This goes back to what I was saying with Miz. Is these guys don't have good chemistry together in the ring. It's just I don't know. Shinsuke is not the guy to have a match with Miz. I don't think it didn't ever work. Nothing they did was wrong. Nothing was egregious. Nothing was bad. It just was meh. So I gave it a 5.25.
Oh, we're pretty close on that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's get to a good match.
Yes, the good match. To me, this was the best match.
Hold on, let me check my scores really quick. Yep, that's the best match.
By quite a bit for me.
I wrote this match told a story.
It was Becky and Sasha for the Raw Women's title.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much 4 horsewomen, trying to go at each other. Obviously, the attack that she did with the chair was a big thing, and Becky Lynch wanted to beat the shit out of her. Becky is great when she's aggressive. When she's very offensive, it shows that she can control the match and that she has power. I have to say, this is probably one of Sasha's best matches I've seen in a long time.
I agree with that too.
I didn't see any botches from her. I love the whole back and forth of submissions where she did her bank statement, and the other was the disarmer with Becky. And I wrote, now this is how you do submissions compared to the pre-show match with the triple threat cruiserweight title.
Yeah, where instead of like it looks like they're just going through motions, putting each other in holds.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they mixed it in with offense and it was counters. It was doing a sequence. It was like Becky does that pump handle exploder suplex thing, and then Sasha reversed it and then put her across face, and then they were countering each other's holds. It looked like a fight. It didn't look like fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it didn't look cartoony in any way.
Yeah.
What I don't like what Sasha did is she does this thing when somebody kicks out, like she starts crying.
Oh, I think that's funny. I like that.
I'm like,
she's like, ah! She starts freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she used to do when she was heel.
I don't like it because when she came back, she was a badass. Like, I felt like she was, nothing can phase her.
She's back. Yeah.
Yeah, but when somebody kicked out, like, she starts crying, like, I'm like, stop it.
It's how she always was before. She's like frustrated. She's like, she's like, I'm the fucking best. This shouldn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
This was a pretty long match, I will say, especially the ending when it started getting out of control.
Yeah, where it broke down after Becky accidentally hit a referee with a chair and he died. She killed him, I think.
Well, here's one thing I don't get what WWE does is when they try to do these spots where the good person or the face-ish person is going to get a DQ, why does the heel always make it obvious in front of a referee that sees the weapon come with a chair and pretty much trying to throw away the match? Was Sasha giving up to the point where she was like, fuck it, I'm just going to hit her with a chair and do a DQ?
Yeah, I didn't understand why she did that at the time. Like, to me, that's all I could think of is she's like, I can't win this one, fuck it. I may as well try to do some damage and get out of this, which is an old heel trick, really.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't know. What confused me is this was odd because, yeah, Becky hit the ref by accident, and then was just like, well, fuck it, I'm not done beating her ass, and just goes after her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fight through the crowd, which I'm a huge sucker for. I like crowd fights. I don't know, it's just cool. And they fight through the crowd bunch, and then this goes on for like, I don't know, about almost 10 more minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm. It was really
And
long in the crowd.
I didn't mind it. It was cool because usually that doesn't happen with the women. They don't do that. Uh, and it was like they got back, and then all of a sudden, like she was gonna whip her ass more, and then a bunch of referees came out, and then it was just done, and then she was disqualified. And I'm like, usually when the ref goes down by accidentally getting hit or something, another one just comes out and the match continues.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody could have seen clearly she didn't mean to do that. So
It's just WWE never consistent on that.
no, like stuff with refs is always screwy and it's never consistent. I bitched about that a bunch on AEW. Like I was like, it's worse than WWE right now. What the hell? Like,
One thing I have written here, the last thing actually, is I loved the match, but I kind of hated the ending. I said I get it to make Sasha look good, uh, or look strong in a way, but should have either made Sasha win dirty, meaning when she came in with the chair to hit her with the chair and get caught somehow, or have Sasha get caught. Oh, I just said that. uh, or just have put the belt on Sasha, because having her lose again is just, why did you put her there? That's another thing I want to bring up. Sasha cried after WrestleMania when they took the belt off of. I mean, cried in real life and complaining that they took the belt off of her and Bailey, and then she pretty much in protest cried on Twitter and just never showed up to work. And then
yeah.
she gets rewarded to a title match.
Well, the thing about that, the stuff that happened at WrestleMania, I'm not sure how much of that was real, other than the shit she was posting on her own Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about some of that other shit where it was like supposedly her and Bailey did the shit where they just laid on the ground in the fucking locker room in protest, and they were crying in the hotel room or something. I don't know about any of that shit. I don't necessarily believe that.
But she still didn't show
But
up to work and pretty much talk shit on Twitter a lot.
well, I think apparently in her they did like a special thing. So like I don't know. This is another thing you take it with a grain of salt. I don't know how much of it's true, but I can believe it. In this case, is she said she needed a break because she'd been working honestly ever since she was like 18, which that's a really long time to go without having an injury and getting a break
I guess, but
like that. Like because at this point she's like 20, she's hitting her late 20s and she's been wrestling for almost 10 years straight. That's a long time.
but it
So
still doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't get a title match right away.
well, I mean, why not? I mean, she's one of their biggest stars. It'd be kind of dumb to not put her in a situation like that. Because again, my point is, I don't know how much of her bitching is real, because I don't know. But like, I'm inclined to believe not really. I think she really just did step away because she was burned out, kind of thing. She asked for time off, I think.
I don't know. She was kind of tweeting about AEW subliminally, where
Everybody's doing that. They're doing that shit where they're working everybody on the internet. It'd be dumb for her to like. Well, I don't know. She's got a guaranteed deal. She always wanted to be a WWE. It's kind of like it doesn't really quite add up
mm,
for me.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I think she did go on a temper tantrum, and she got what she wanted, but then again, she lost.
She didn't lose. She got disqualified, or she didn't get disqualified. Becky disqualified herself.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I guess. To me, that I count that as a loss. I mean, you didn't get
She
the
did.
belt.
She didn't lose.
All right, she didn't get the belt, meaning
Yeah.
it wasn't a positive for her. And booking wise, I guess it is a positive because she still looks pretty strong.
It's a lateral move. They went sideways because it was just, and I'm okay with this. This is something that I think a lot of wrestling fans complain about too much nowadays, and they don't do it enough, and it causes them to complain. Which is, you can't. Not every match has to end decisively all the time because then it's fucking predictable. Because that's an old trick they used to do a lot more, which is sometimes a match would just end in a crazy fucking weird finish or something.
Yeah, but have a person that's always been losing still not get a win. It hurts
What?
more than.
When did she lose? Ever since she came back, what match did she lose before this?
Okay,
up to this point?
let me rephrase this. She's been losing before this match. She still didn't get over. Meaning, I'm never mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't think, like, the only match she lost up to this point before that was the tag match at WrestleMania. Like, that was it.
Do you think this is?
So it's like,
do you think this is gonna be a feud? Because I don't see this being a feud. Maybe
it's
like
still going.
Maybe like a couple of matches here and there, but I don't see Sasha getting the belt at all.
I think she's gonna get it. I think WWE tipped their hand already because they dumbly put down a SmackDown promotional image that has Becky Lynch on it. I think it was a goof. Like, I think somebody fucked up, but ever since I saw that, I'm like, she's getting this title. It's a done deal. I'll be highly surprised if she doesn't win it.
Well, then when she gets it, will they keep it on her? That's the question.
They'll keep it on her for as long as she can be healthy without having a minor injury. Because she had that issue before when she had her big run with Charlotte. She was getting little minor injuries that would take her off the shelf for like a month or something. So no, like I was saying, no serious injuries where she had to just go away for like 6 months or a year. It was just minor things. This is still going on. They're having a Hell in a Cell match, actually.
Ugh,
so
Hell in a Cell. Ugh.
It's okay. I have different thoughts. I'm not against them having a Hell in a Cell match. I don't like themed pay-per-views. I fucking don't like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, does I have anything to say about this shit that I didn't get to say? I'm looking real quick. Oh, I like the part where they're fighting in the crowd and they go to the concession stand and then Becky shoots a bunch of mustard down her back. She put a yellow stripe down her back, brother, calling her a coward.
Oh, but by the way, sorry. We have a viewer in here, Godstreams. Welcome. He says, heel Sammy sucks and blows. That's what he said. And he says,
he doesn't suck. What else do you say?
He said, well, I wasn't answering him, and he's like, is this pre-recorded? No, it's not pre-recorded.
Sorry, we were having a debate about Sasha Banks. I'm making sure. Nope, I don't have anything else to say. You kind of covered a lot of the shit I did. I was okay with the finish because I don't know, people complain about that too much, I think, when it happens sometimes, because it's like, if every match ends decisively all the time, it really limits your tools, like what you can do to extend a feud.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't used to longer feuds. I noticed that too. When a feud actually is long, and people used to complain about how short they were. When they actually go a length, like how they used to, people bitch about it and complain that, oh my God, it's so played out. It's stale. Oh my God, this finish. They didn't finish. It was a disqualification. It was like, which is it? God damn it. You can't complain about stuff and then when they bring it back, complain about it. Like,
yeah, I think it should have ended where Sasha got annoyed and hit the chair.
That would have been fine. Like what you're saying, if she DQ'd herself,
mm-hmm.
that would have been fine too. I would have been okay with that because it would look like then the feud could still go because Becky would be mad because she threw away the match and it was like, I want you in a match where you can't do that. Hell in a Cell. It would still make sense.
Yeah.
So what do you score it?
8.0. Actually, I'm going to change that since I had the revival there. So I'm going to put it a 9.0 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go make it go lower because you were like, I hate Sasha Banks.
No, I'm not gonna be biased. I loved the match. I thought the match was great. Just the ending kind of confused me a little bit.
I gave it an 8.5.
Oh shit!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So coming from the best match of the night, I think we're gonna get into
This was yeah.
a Randy Orton match,
Randall Keith Orton.
and I said
You know
that
what that stands for?
what
RKO.
And the reason why we are saying it really, really slow is because this match was slow.
JR would say this was methodical.
But it was the WWE title match with Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston.
Kobe Johnston.
I wrote.
Do you remember that guy? Hang on real quick. Do you remember, like, goddamn, I think this was like 10 years ago now, when they were on that real big kick of having a guest general manager on Raw all the time?
Mm,
And there was like this guy, I can't remember who the fuck. No, it wasn't. It was Mike Adamle. You remember when Mike Adamle was the Raw general manager for like 3 months or something?
yeah.
And he said he didn't get anybody's names right. He said, like, he called Kofi Kingston Kobe Johnston.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
he did. And he said Evan Bourne, he called him Evan Braun, and he said they were going to wrestle at Summerfest.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. It just reminded me of that.
Goddamn WWE Vince McMahon.
Summerfest.
Evan Braun.
Goddamn.
My notes are this.
Okay.
Randy Orton's slow, same template of moves, where he puts headlocks, throws them into the ropes, does a power slam, does the DDT off of the ropes, then does the slam where he lifts him up and then throws him onto the announcing table. Seen
Hey,
this
that's
match.
a good move.
Yeah, I've seen this match 1,000 times from Randy Orton. And,
Okay.
I said it was too long of a match, probably because it was slow. I think the feud is stale now.
I think it's over now.
Yeah, since Randy got the L.
They haven't interacted anymore since then.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of wish they brought Randy Orton and the Revival as a stable, because the new legacy would be pretty cool. And I guess they're not going to take the belt off of Kofi to put on Randy Orton, because at this point I think Randy Orton is just a guy that's going to put people over.
I think he's shifted into that spot because he's a veteran. He's been there for a while. He's got a lighter schedule now.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I guess he's earned it. Really, he's a guy they could probably rely on if they need him. They need him to do that. But yeah, it seems like anymore he's just having matches with guys. He's doing storylines. He's doing the Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah.
Which he's not Shawn Michaels. But
oh hell no, he's not Shawn Michaels.
I'm not burying Orton. Here's the thing about Randy Orton with me is I don't think he's a bad wrestler at all. It's just that I think he gets into like patterns sometimes. And if he's not, to me, it seems like if he's not really motivated, he can just get kind of like predictable in what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen him have good matches with people, and I've seen him do some pretty incredible stuff sometimes. And then he'll go like long periods of time where he doesn't do anything that's interesting or impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got charisma. He can do a promo. It's just, I don't know. He settles into like a coast, and that's him.
Well, I thought the whole Revival and Randy Orton thing was getting interesting to the point I was like, oh, what is happening here? The veteran's gonna teach the younger talent to how to do things. but just
Fuck.
I don't think they're doing that anymore.
I don't know because I haven't seen Orton on TV since that. So maybe it's not over. We'll see, I guess. But I like the build and story for this feud.
Mm-hmm.
Continuity. They actually, paid attention to that.
Yeah, the stupid storyline. I
I
mean, stupid meaning what they said in their promos.
Yeah, which it was a reference to an incident from 10 years ago when they had a feud. Um,
Stupid.
I noticed Kofi got a mixed reaction when he came out. Did you notice that?
Yeah, because I think he's getting to the boring stage of being a champion. Because I don't agree with it because I think if they put him in more feuds that make sense like this one where he had history of Randy Orton, that it could be better. But at this point, he's winning all the time, and he's still the New Day, or he's I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point.
I know. I think I know what you're getting at, which is it seems like Kofi doesn't. He's not coming off like he's a serious champion kind of guy, really.
Mm-hmm.
Although he did have that moment at SummerSlam where he lost his shit and beat the hell out of Orton with a chair. That was a step in the right direction. But then it was like he came out here and like there was that shit with his family and all that shit. And he came out here throwing pancakes and shit. And I'm just like, weren't you fucking pissed that he fucked with your family?
He needs to be repackaged. I think either something needs to happen where Big E breaks up the New Day, or it would be interesting if Kofi becomes a heel, but that would never work because Kofi is heel.
I don't know if he can.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like a Ricky Steamboat guy. He's just gonna be face forever. I can't imagine him any other way. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think being a member of the New Day and pimping the New Day act like that, where he's still doing shit like that when it should be serious. He should be. I thought he was mad at Orton. Why is he coming out doing that shit? Like, shouldn't he have resentment still from when he called him stupid and kind of fucked his career, and then he fucked with his family? Why is he throwing pancakes?
And why does his chest look weird?
he just, I don't know. Some people look weird. I was gonna say I have been digging a lot of Orton's work since he came back this year. His promos have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if he could just adopt, which I think he's starting to incorporate this, his fucking Twitter speak. When he says so, he does not give a fuck on the internet. He says whatever the fuck he wants, and he'll never get punished for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's hit that status where he's got the Undertaker, Austin, Rock, and Triple H. You could say whatever you want.
He's got a job for life there. He's never going away. He's fucking set.
Mm-hmm.
And he did I'll call it a relaxed heel pace where he's like that. He's doing that shit where he's grinding him down and shit. But he did speed up a couple times in that match.
Mm-hmm.
I like that part where he feigned that shoulder injury and suckered Kofi in, and he like poked him in the eye, and he was making fun of him when he was doing the chops.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And then, I was surprised at how this match ended, where it was just like Kofi just hit a Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere and beat him after one of them, just one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I thought it was pretty good. It was a little too slow, I think, for Kofi's style. I think it should have been a little faster.
Yeah, I gave this an average score. I was like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. Down the middle, I gave it a 5.0 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.75 because to me it did what it was designed to do,
mm-hmm.
which was like I don't think anything bad happened. Like my only real complaint was it was a little too slow for Kofi,
mm-hmm.
and he couldn't get out the gate and do all that high speed shit like he usually does. It gets people fired up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this needed to happen for Kofi because it's a main event level feud against a guy who's established, and it legitimizes his title reign and his main event status. He needed something like this.
I actually agree with what you just said, but
Yeah.
I'm still gonna give it a 5.0.
Hey, that's fine. It's subjective, you know.
What do you give it?
There's a fun
Oh
segment.
yeah, you already gave it.
6.75.
Sweet.
Street Profit segment with Booker.
Yeah, what do you think
That
of
was
that?
funny. I freaking thought it was great.
Do you think
I
Booker
don't,
T should be their manager?
I don't think they need a manager. Like apparently, what Booker said about this segment was he was trying to get across to them they need to quit fooling around and get street and fucking take this shit serious. And I was like, I kind of see that now. I see what you're saying because you're saying they goof off too much. You think, which I can agree with that. I think.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see Booker T as a manager.
Like maybe if he just did this short like thing where he tries to mentor them for like a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, but they don't need a manager because Montez Ford can fucking talk all day.
Oh yeah.
Angelo Dawkins isn't bad either when they play off each other. So it's like, they don't need a mouthpiece.
It's pretty much what you said, just like to calm them down a little bit, where getting serious.
Yeah, they just when shit gets serious, they need to be serious. Did you fucking like? God damn it! That reminded me of that segment on Raw where like they were doing the Maria thing, and then like it was like shortly after that they were talking about like what the fuck, like Montez said something like a pregnancy test on a pole match or Maria on a pole match, and then Angelo Dawkins goes, "Bruh, that's how she got in trouble to begin with." She was on a pole. I was like, "Oh my god, they really just say that?"
I fucking love Street Profit.
It was funny as shit.
You know what's not funny like shit?
No.
This no DQ match with Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan.
Okay.
This story was a disaster ever since pretty much the whole forklift scene.
That girl is like the backstage announcer. I don't fucking know her name because they have like 8.
Mm-hmm. 8 robots.
It just seems like overkill. But like that she got all defensive and shit because people said her acting was bad in that segment. She like bitched on the internet. It was hilarious. Like, dude, you're on the fuck you're a fucking public figure. Just I don't know. It's a bunch of fucking retards on the internet bitching about your acting. Just calm down. But I agree with you. This storyline's been really weird, and it seems very nonsensical. And apparently, it was revealed they weren't real sure what the fuck they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Daniel Bryan was supposed to be the culprit, and that fell through for some strange reason. Probably because they knew that Daniel Bryan was going to get a cheer more than Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman's kind of in this weird spot now where it's like he doesn't get anywhere near the heat he used to get. He's got kind of more of a legitimate. He gets more of a positive reaction now, but it's not as much.
It's like an upper mid card kind of.
Yeah, like depending on where they're at, he'll get a really good reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay too, though, because like I was like, it sucks. But that whole thing with his cancer, kind of like. It did him a favor, I guess, in a weird way.
Yeah, it got him over a little bit.
Yeah, but this storyline's weird. But you know what I got out of this match was this heel push Eric Rowan is showing some kind of promise.
But I don't know. I think Eric Rowan is so boring by himself, and I get that's why they bring this person, which we will talk about in a second. And I think this is the only reason why this was a no DQ match, was to have the Luke Harper spot to happen.
Yeah, that got a pop at me. I was like, oh my god, really? Like I didn't expect that at all. I thought he was just they're gonna do this shit where his contract just runs out and he's gone.
Mm-hmm. because during the match I was like, it's a no DQ match. It's very cookie cutter spots. They go through the crowd. They hit with the stairs here and there. They, I believe a kendo stick was in there, if I'm correct.
They hit each other with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's how a no DQ match is. And I knew because it was a no DQ match that something fishy was gonna happen because I really don't care for Eric Rowan as
Huh.
as a single wrestler. And Luke Harper is the best out of both of them. So,
It's huh.
and I don't understand where he had a promo the other week where he says, "I'm going to be on my own. I don't need anybody," and now you team up with Luke Harper.
It was a trick. It was to sucker everybody into a false sense of security because the whole deal is now he's saying he's smarter than everybody and he fucking outsmarted everybody again.
I guess if you look at it that way.
Like, I mean, you got to look at it from heel logic.
Do you think Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are gonna feud? You think
No,
that's
I
gonna
don't.
be a thing?
You mean against each other?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that's a good idea right now.
Well, no, down
Because
the
I don't
road.
know.
I mean,
Down the road, maybe. I mean, only if. Well, I don't know. Because I'd say it really. To me, it's really going to depend on how the next few months go. I don't know what to say about that right now.
mm-hmm.
Because right now, I think what they're doing is good. They need. I'm glad Harper's back. I actually I came in this match with like really low expectations for Eric Rowan,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually impressed me in this match.
I don't know.
I don't
I
I
can
don't
relate.
know. Like to me, he moved a lot faster and was a lot more aggressive in his offense, and did a lot more moves than I've ever seen him do in his entire career.
That could have been because of Roman.
Roman's got this weird niche where if he wrestles against a big power guy and they have like this brawling style, fast paced kind of match, he can get a good match out of guys like that. And he did it here, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because he used to do that with Braun Strowman all the time. I loved when those two would fight each other. Because it was always like it was super violent and shit, and it was always really fast paced.
Yeah, and then Braun lost a lot.
He didn't know he beat him a few times. The problem is after that, like I think it helped get Braun over was that he never could win any other kind of match after that. It's like after he moved out of that feud, coming out kind of 60-40, he,
I'm gonna
he
put my money in the bank on the line at Hell in a Cell like an idiot.
yeah, he's got the big show syndrome where it seems like he keeps finding himself in these really big matches and he never wins them somehow, and it's really fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get to in a sec. But I like the brawling they had. Like I said, I think Eric Rowan's moving a lot faster. He's doing a lot. His shit just looks better than I remember it being. Rowan's selling like crazy. Goddamn, when he gets his ass kicked, he looks like he's dying. uh, I like that thing Rowan does. He's been doing this thing lately where he goes for a corner splash, and then
Mm-hmm.
somebody will move out of the way, and it looks like he hits the post with his face. And he makes that sound when he hits it, like, and he fucking bounces off. I'm like, damn, like, it's a pretty good little spot.
Yeah, he does that pretty good.
His power bomb looks good. He's got the best looking power bomb I've seen in a while.
He must be training with Daniel Bryan. He must be learning some stuff.
I don't know. Maybe he could just be putting more time in the fucking performance center and working with guys down there too. Uh, yeah, Harper came back. That was awesome because I like Harper. I still think Harper's better than him, but
Yeah.
like I was like, wow, like he really impressed me in this match though. I like that Iron Claw slam he does now too.
Yeah, that's fucking cool as hell. What do you think Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are gonna do? You think they're gonna have a gimmick? Or
I, I don't know yet. I'm still not real sure what they're doing with them exactly. It seems like they're in an alliance, and they're just fucking beating the shit out of both of them, Brian and Roman, and they're getting into this pattern where it's like they come in and they rip the set apart and they fuck everybody up, and nobody can stop them because they're so big. Which is cool. I think the smart thing to do right now is just keep them together and have them fuck everybody up. And I don't know if they want to tag, have them tag and beat the shit out of people. They don't need the tag titles though. At this point, I think that would devalue them.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Rowan's weirdly gotten over. Like, out of this whole storyline has been awful, but he's come out of it with some kind of momentum. It's really strange.
Well, I guess we'll see where it goes. I personally, I don't think I see it going anywhere.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty competitive match with fucking Roman. That's weird. Like,
And I have a strange feeling that they're going to do, since Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are together, Daniel Bryan is somewhat going to turn face just so he could face Rowan. So they'll have like D-Bry and Roman Reigns team up against them somehow.
I watched the first hour of SmackDown tonight before we started doing all our shows, and it looks like they soft turned Daniel Bryan face.
Interesting.
It looks like that's what happened because he had a match with Rowan. It was pretty solid, and it ended with I don't know. I think Luke Harper came in and caused a DQ or something, and then Roman came out to try to save him, and then it looked like at first he was like, "Fuck off! I don't need your help." And then he got a mic and he was just like, "Do you guys want to see us fight them?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right," like like that.
Fucking idiots! All right, we'll do it.
So what do you score this, man?
4.0 out of 10.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 7.75.
I thought the story was just out of control.
The story is out of control, but it's turned into something else entirely now. It's transitioned into a whole other story. So it's like they took something that was stupid and wasn't working, and they're turning it into something that's actually kind of intriguing in some way.
I guess we'll see where it goes. But every time Luke Harper and Eric Rowan get together, something happens. Either injury or just it falls flat somewhere.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All we can do is wait and see.
Let's get to the main event that should never been the main event.
Ooh, shit. Well, yeah, especially after the fucking women's match. And honestly, I thought the match before it was like better. I really did. So you don't like this one apparently. What do you guys say about it?
No, I actually rated this higher than the no DQ match.
Oh wow.
I thought the wrestling was decent. I said that's a plus. But getting to this point where Braun Strowman faces Seth Rollins makes no sense at all. Because they made Braun somewhat of a face. So face versus face kind of thing.
That's not bad necessarily. See, I don't get to those kind of matches are better than heel versus heel. Heel versus heel is really hard to sell.
Yep. But he literally came out of nowhere, and it's just like I want to face you, like.
Paul Heyman likes him. He wants to push him. I don't. If that's the case, supposedly, I don't see how this is doing him any favors because he's just stuck in the same pattern he's been in for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I wrote this. I said even though he took a bunch of finishers from Seth Rollins, Braun losing again hurts Braun a lot.
It does. He keeps getting in these fucking. It's like Samoa Joe. It's the same thing that happens to Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's supposed to be this monster heel, and he'll fuck you up, and he's supposed to be dangerous and shit. And then what happens every time they get in a big match situation? They fucking lose.
What do you think? What do you think of the frog splash from Braun?
That was fucking. I was scared at first because it looked like I thought he was gonna fall off the fucking top rope. That guy's big as hell, and then he did it, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And he kicked out after that. And I was like, "That's bullshit. That should have fucking finished him." Fucking 400-pound fucker jumps off the ropes and hits you, splashes you, and you're like, "You're half of his weight. You should be done."
Yeah.
It's like when Vader did a moonsault to people and fucking finished him. Come on.
Yeah, I got real mad at that. I was like, wait, he pretty much he's no selling it.
He kind of did after that. Like, I don't. There's a lot of things about this match that kind of aggravated me in terms of like the way the match went.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought Seth sold good up to that point.
I thought the intensity was fine. Like,
yeah.
Like they were going back and forth. Like I was more entertained in this one compared to Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. I was like, oh shit, like maybe this might be the time Braun Strowman gets the strap because maybe they want to have Seth Rollins in SmackDown somehow.
You can't say strap. They hate that word.
They hate wrestling. They hate the word wrestling.
They say it, but they let people say it on air sometimes now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe they're kind of backing off on that. But like, the thing that bothered me the most about this match, besides that whole thing where he splashed him and flattened that motherfucker he kicked out, was the finishing sequence, which was he just curb stomped him over and over and over,
and then
pedigreed him, and I was like, I guess it was shocking, but all it did was devalue Seth's finishing move.
Yep.
He had to do his goddamn finisher like fucking 3 times and then do another finisher.
Yeah, he had to go take Triple H's finisher. It's powerful than his curb
it's more
stomp.
powerful than the curb stomp. It was fine. It's a lame finish. I don't like these start-stop pushes they keep doing with Strowman. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, just give him the belt already. Like, let me at least see what he does with it.
I just want, he gets so close, like he's over as fuck, and then like they do that and it kind of stalls him out again for a few months, that's what he's about to settle into. He's going to be stalled out again for another few months.
Yeah, he's going to be throwing fucking jobbers around again.
It's fucking pointless. I don't understand. Like, and that guy, in my opinion, you can't shuffle him down the card and have him win the U.S. title. It's just stupid. He's either main event or nothing. There's no point.
I also wrote down this should have never been a main event. It should have been Becky and Sasha, and the Fiend spot I think would have been a lot more effective if he did the mandible claw on Becky than Seth Rollins.
Shit, that would have been crazy. Oh my god!
Because he would.
I don't know how people would have reacted to that, honestly.
Because Seth Rollins would have been mad as hell and would be looking around for the Fiend or Bray Wyatt.
He's the Fiend, man.
Maui Wowie.
Yowie wowie. See, that is a good idea on paper, but then I remember the last time that they had them do a storyline together, it ruined Seth Rollins, and I hated it. So I don't want them anywhere near each other for a very long time.
True, but in a sense, you kind of don't have to put them on camera, I guess.
Yeah, like if they don't emphasize it like what they were doing, trying to turn it into a storyline, if it's just like, oh, they're together, fine. Okay, that's okay if they do that. I don't want any more segments where they're all like they're getting in a feud with fucking people and she's making them look bad just because Seth's a fucking dweeb.
Other than that, I gave this match a 6.5 out of 10.
So did I.
Oh, surprising.
We matched it. Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was entertaining.
The whole show.
Yeah, I thought it was. compared to what WWE pushes out pay per view wise, like it was decent to watch compared to what they usually do. And usually I just go ignore like most of the match except for one. Even though I did,
Yeah.
even though I did rate like some of these low compared to just one or two that I liked.
What do you? What? Let's see. Where are my overall notes about this show? There was a lot of booking mistakes and fucking blown spots,
Mm-hmm.
flubs. There was good promos throughout the show, which was kind of strange. That doesn't happen very much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Fiend was fucking great. I loved that thing when he like fucking appeared and he started choking him, and it looked like a goddamn horror movie.
People actually complain that there's too much Fiend now. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like you wanted more Bray Wyatt, now you got Bray Wyatt. Now you don't want Bray Wyatt.
I think it's better for them to not have him show up all the time. Actually,
And can he do something different? By the way, I'm tired of the whole blinking of the lights and him doing the mandible claw. I'd rather have something where he does different things in the dark, pretty much.
I liked it when he attacked Kane. That was cool. I fucking the camera. He was like standing right behind him and looking at him. I was like, oh fuck, that's awesome.
You know, it'd be pretty cool if the light goes out and then you hear Michael Cole like the headset come off and stuff.
Oh, you can hear the fucking like headset rattling.
Yeah,
Oh man, that would be cool.
and then you turn on the light and then Michael Cole is gone. So,
There's no, and then it would be like nobody is safe.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea actually. And then you can write Michael Cole off commentary forever.
I wish.
but
But but
it's
imagine
boss time. Fuck.
but imagine
Fuck,
having
damn
a
it.
whole show like this would happen literally in the first hour. Imagine just having
Mhm.
Corey Graves and either Byron Saxton or what Renee Young be like commentating. It would be weird. Or maybe they get like a backup or something where Vince McMahon comes out.
God, they always have to have fucking three people on commentary or something for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. Match of the night was obviously Becky and Sasha, which that pretty much fulfilled my expectations because I was like when I heard they were feuding next, I caught wind of it. I was like, okay, I want to watch this because they had a great feud back in NXT and they had a great match. And I was like, I know these two can have an awesome match. I know it's guaranteed pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was right. They did it. And I don't know what the hell in Cell's going to be like, but it's probably going to be good too.
I hope they don't do a big spot. It would be weird.
I don't want them to do this shit where they kill themselves. so so no, I don't want to see some kind of bullshit like what Jeff Hardy usually does from them. God.
Yeah, I don't want to see on top of the Hell in a Cell jump off, and I do not want to see climb up halfway and then fall thing.
Yeah, I don't want any of that either. Just do it like what Shawn and Undertaker did when they had theirs. It was just a really violent match in a fucking cage.
I want to see
Like
Becky rub the Sasha's face on the link fence.
I want to see Becky bleed, man. She bled that one time on Raw last year. It was like, oh god, that did it. She's over.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you score the show?
6.9 out of 10.
6.75 out of 10.
Well, shit, we were close. Holy fuck!
And this show was better than All Out.
I wouldn't say that.
It was for me. The overall quality of the show was more even and consistent.
I'll give you that. I thought the rest.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with AEW. It's all over the place right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have fucking idiots on their show doing stupid shit.
I think once TV, the TV episodes happen and then full gear, I think we'll see what happens. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll end the show here. Do you have any final things you want to say, or any news, or?
No. Oh yeah, I watched NXT when it debuted on USA, but I couldn't catch the second hour because the WWE Network fucking crashed. Because all of a sudden, like a million people wanted to switch to the WWE Network, and it fucking crashed at the same time. So it was like, oh, you guys didn't think that would happen? Like, fuck. Like, I never caught that second hour. I don't know what happened. But I check it out if you didn't.
Yeah,
Um,
Dream
there's
versus Roderick Strong was fucking
that was a
amazing.
great, that was a fucking great match. So props to them. It looks like it's gonna be solid. I'm gonna watch tomorrow's show for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a diehard NXT guy anyway. Sometimes I don't stay abreast of the shows. Sometimes I slack off for a few months and I don't know.
And by the way, like, people that watched our first two episodes, we're not just doing reviews on pay-per-views. We actually have some themed episodes that we're gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an
We got a
eye.
lot of stuff planned.
Yeah, and we are doing bi-weekly podcasts. So next week there won't be an episode, but the following week there will be. So
Yep.
keep an eye out on that. To catch more Getting Some Color, make sure to go to novnetwork.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes and Spotify. Uh, did we even have a sign off for this one?
No, we just kind of said bye. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Like, you know.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Later, guys.